I'm out here in the garage today finishing up a painting of Anthony Sabatini. He's running for Congress here in District 7, Seminole County. Vote for that dude if you live in Seminole County. We had Anthony on the show. He showed up, had a great interview. We're gonna have him back on. We're not gonna vote for Corey Mills. I invited that dude on the show and he canceled. Literally, he was late by 5 minutes and they texted me and canceled. They couldn't make it. So we rescheduled Corey Mills for the following week. I had to bump somebody else off the podcast to get him to come on, and he did the same damn thing. Canceled on me like right as we were supposed to be starting. So Corey Mills is the king of empty promises. If he can't commit to, you know, keeping small promises, you think he's going to keep the big promises? So he's the promises made, promises not kept guy. We're not going to vote for Corey Mills. We're going to vote for Anthony Sabatini right there. So I'm painting this for his campaign. Let's talk about this video I saw on CNN. These are Democrats talking about you know, the overturning of Roe versus Wade. This is what they think of abortion. Listen to this. Navarro is her name. She's either a correspondent or a pundit on CNN.
Before, during, and after the child.
And I am not anybody to tell you what you need to do with your life or with your uterus. And because I have a family with a lot of special needs kids. I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old. And I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for a family. And I know not all families can do it.
So Anna Navarro is explaining that she has special needs children in her family. And she has a brother that's got some mental issues or something. And her argument is you should be able to abort these babies because they're financially draining on people. If you have Down syndrome, or if you're bipolar, or if you're autistic, you should be able to abort a baby. There's no way to tell if a child is autistic when it's in the womb. So the only way to discover that is, man, it could take a couple years before you can diagnose a child with autism, you know, or more. You know, it could take up to 5 or 6, 7 or 8 years. So are Democrats, do they think it's okay to kill an 8-year-old kid when you find out they have autism? I bet you there's a big majority of Democrats that would be for that. Notice how there's no pushback, zero pushback from the other people here from CNN, because they all think this way, okay? Hitler, that's how he started killing people. He started out getting rid of the people with Down syndrome, mental disorders. That's how he slowly got people used to killing, you know? And then he morphed his way into killing the Jews. If you can get people adjusted to abortions, killing people with so-called defects, you can convince them to step it up. And to kill a Jew was okay because they had defects, you know, they were subhuman, according to Hitler. And he got a whole nation to go along with it. This Anna Navarro bitch is essentially condoning what Hitler did, euthanizing humans because, you know, they have defects. Democrats believe that it's not a baby. Well, they say that they believe it's not a baby in the womb. I think they know. They don't believe it's just a clump of cells and a fetus isn't a baby. They know. They just don't give a shit.
And I have a step-granddaughter who was born with Down syndrome. And you know what? It is very difficult in Florida to get services. It is not as easy as it sounds on paper.
Anna Navarro has a step-granddaughter that has Down syndrome. Okay, so that's a reason to kill her. I wonder what her family thinks of this when they hear it. she's got a step granddaughter with Down syndrome, so apparently she's still alive. I wonder what her parents think of Anna Navarro saying that. It's pretty sick. Maybe they have the same views. Who knows? She says it's not easy to get services for a child with Down syndrome. What kind of an excuse is that to kill somebody? If you have a parent and they're in a home, I mean, wouldn't it be cheaper to just euthanize them? Is it, you know what I mean? If you have somebody in your family and it's costing you money, then you should be able to kill them? That's fucking crazy. I feel sorry for this granddaughter that she professes to have because her own grandmother wouldn't mind having her killed.
And I've got another step grandson who is very autistic, who has autism, and it is incredible. And their mothers and people who are in that society, who are in that community, will tell you that they considered suicide.
She's got another grandkid that's autistic that she thinks you should be able to kill. We went over this. You can't tell if somebody's autistic when they're in the womb. But this bitch seems like she's okay with killing half her family. And the people on CNN, they don't butt in or disagree or anything because they all think the same way. I think what Anna Navarro here is trying to say is that people with autism and Down syndrome, this is the society, people that are in this society, this is what she's talking about, that they've contemplated suicide because they're autistic or because they have Down syndrome. I guarantee you that's not true. This is just a lie that she's spewing here to try to prove her point. Bet you $1 million there's no truth to that whatsoever. When was the last time you heard of a Down syndrome kid killing himself? Or someone who's autistic? They were so autistic they couldn't take it anymore and they killed themselves. I've never heard of that ever happening.
Because that's how difficult it is to get help. Because that's how lonely they feel. Because they can't get other jobs. Because they have financial issues. Because the care that they're able to give their other children suffers.
Democrats are barbarians. If you don't care about the life of an unborn baby, you don't care about anybody's life. So she says that if you have an autistic kid or a kid with Down syndrome, the care that you give that child takes away from the love and the care that you could give your other kids. She says that it's hard to get care. There's services out there for people. Do you know what you need the most to care for someone with Down syndrome or someone who's autistic? You just need to be in a loving family. That's it. You should love your child, whether they have a Down syndrome or whether they're autistic. I guarantee you talk to anybody who's got a autistic son. My friend Matt Morgan, he's the mayor of Longwood. He's got an autistic kid, and he loves that boy. And so does his wife. His whole family loves that boy. You want to talk about having a defect? Okay? Having Down syndrome isn't a defect. Being autistic isn't a defect. It's not a defect like it is being a full functioning human and having zero empathy for another life. That's a fucking defect.
And so why can I be Catholic and still think this is a wrong decision? Because I'm American. I'm Catholic inside the church. I'm Catholic when it comes to me. But there's a lot of Americans who are not Catholic and are not Christian and are not Baptist. And you have no damn right to tell them what they should do with their bodies. Nobody does.
This Anna Navarro bitch, she's claiming that she's Catholic and she believes in abortion. I'm not a religious person, but if there's a God, he's not for killing babies. He's not for killing babies before they have a chance to even be born yet. So, show me in the Bible where it says abortions are good, or you can have an abortion, you know, or killing a baby before it's born is okay. Thou shalt not kill. Isn't that the first commandment? They always say, don't tell us what to do with our bodies. It's not your body. It's the baby's body. You have another human inside your body. That's what we're talking about here. You can't say that it's not a living person. So, and for all of the Democrats that say, hey, men don't have a voice in this, well, according to the Democrats, men can have babies. Men can menstruate. They put tampons in men's bathrooms, these fucking idiots. So, you're the one that opened the door on that. You said men can have babies, so now we have all the right in the world to talk about it. Overturning Roe versus Wade. That's great. Maybe they can start advertising, you know, contraception and stuff like that. They don't ever talk about that. You know, so you're not ready to have a kid, be smart about it, or don't have sex. That's it. You know, there's consequences to your actions, and Democrats, if anybody, they don't take personal responsibility. They always blame somebody else. That's pretty much the definition of a damn Democrat. Okay, guys, remember, if you live in Seminole County, District 7, we're going to vote in Anthony Sabatini. This is some art I'm doing for his campaign. Anthony Sabatini, not Corey Mills. That dude's already a multi-millionaire. You know, he's the guy that all the DC's people want to win. He's got the most money, but we're not going to vote for that dude. We're going to vote for Anthony. I need to do a quick shout out for Brittany Walker. She's running for Seminole County Commission. We want to vote her in. We got to get rid of Zembauer. He turned into a masked Nazi. He said he was a conservative, but he was all for shutting down businesses and masking up kids. We're also going to vote for Drake Wirtz. Okay, Florida House Rep here in Seminole County. That's what he's running for. Rich Santos. We need to get him in there. So vote for Rich Santos. And in Orlando, David Dwyer. He's running for House Rep there. Orlando is blue as hell. But it's never been a better time to run against a Democrat than now. So let's turn the ship around and vote for David Dwyer in Orlando. Do it!